I'll be discussing about the topic effects of globalization. The goal of globalization is to boost economies around the world by making markets more efficient. The hope is that increased global trade will lead to more competition, which will spread wealth more equally. Those who are in favor of the claim that trade across borders will help to limit the conflicts. However, there are downsides to boosting trade between countries. Some critics point to globalization as a factor in rising nationalism and income inequality. Among other issues, let us focus on how the effects of globalization is according to The Economist. There are a lot of global events connected with globalization and integration. It is easy to identify the changes brought by globalization. Let's discuss each of them. Improvement of international trade. Because of globalization, the number of countries where products can be sold or purchased has increased dramatically. Technological progress. Because of the need to compete and be competitive globally, governments have upgraded their level of technology. Increasing influence of multinational companies. A company that has subsidiaries in various countries is called a multinational. Often, the head office is found in the country where the company was established. Let's take an example. If a car company whose head office is based in Japan, this company has branches in different countries. While the head office controls the subsidiaries decide on production. The subsidiaries are tasked to increase the production and profits. They are able to do it because they have already penetrated in the local markets. The rise in multinational corporations began after World War II. Large companies refer to the countries where their subsidiaries reside as host countries. Globalization has a lot to do with the rise of multinational corporations. Power of World Trade Organization, International Monetary Fund, and World Bank. According to experts, another effect of globalization is the strengthening power and influence of international institutions such as World Trade Organization, International Monetary Fund, and World Bank. Greater mobility of human resources across countries. Globalization allows countries to source their manpower in different countries with low cost labor. For instance, the manpower shortages in Taiwan, South Korea, and Malaysia provides opportunities for labor exporting countries such as Philippines to bring their human resources to those countries for employment. Effects of globalization or is a greater outsourcing of business process to other countries. Countries like China, India, and Philippines are tremendously benefited from the trend of global business outsourcing. Global companies in the US and Europe take advantage of the low cost labor and highly skilled workers that countries like India and Philippines can offer. Civil society. An important trend in globalization is the increased influence and broadening scope of the global civil society. Civil society often refers to the non government organization. There are institutions in a country that are established and run by citizens. The family, being an institution, is part of the society. In globalization, global civil society refers to the organizations that advocate certain issues or cause. There are non government organizations that support women's rights, and there are those that promote environment preservation. These organizations don't work to counter government policies but rather to establish policies that are beneficial to all. Both the government and NGOs have the same goal of serving the people. The spread of globalization led to greater influence of NGOs, especially in areas of great concern, such as human rights, environment, children, and workers. Together with the growing influence of NGOs is the increasing power of multinational corporations. If the trend continues, globalization will make way for realization of the full potential of these two important global actors. Global interdependence and shifts in world economic influence. The shifting center of global influence. In 1980, North America and Western Europe produced more than two-thirds of the world's income. So, as a result, in 1980, the world's economic center of gravity was a point in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. By 2008, because of the continuing rise of India, China, and the rest of East Asia, the center of gravity had shifted to a point just outside Izmir. Professor Dani quotes that globalization is a process of making the world economy more interdependent. Hence, we complete the session with understanding the concept of effects of globalization in a macro perspective. Thank you.